everybody. Welcome to the next game of the week. We have made it to August. This is August the 7th, and we are at Fenway Park for the Chicago White Sox taking on the Boston Red Sox. Had to move back up in the man cave to record this for this week. Next week I should be back at the normal positions. So don't have the standings or anything to show, but both teams are definitely in the running. And then next Saturday, the 14th, we'll be showing the updated versions of the standings. And the game of the week is not decided for the 14th because it's going to be based on the standings. So we'll figure it out, and it'll be a surprise, I guess. This game, White Sox versus Red Sox. Lefty John Tudor on the mound for the Red Sox. He was 13-10 with a 3.63 ERA. Facing Rich Dodson, 11-15 with a 3.84 ERA for the White Sox. Let's look at the starting lineups for both teams as we try to fit this in. Move this over just a touch. Okay, I think that fits in. That's about as good as I can do it. Had a comment last time saying the person couldn't see the cards very well, so I'm trying to lower the phone to capture a better closer-up view of the cards, but of course that limits the expanse that the phone will pick up, so trying to see if I think that will fit everything. So we have our dice, we have our super advanced charts all ready to go. Lineups for the White Sox: LaFleur, Bernazard, Baines, Lazinski, Fisk, Kemp, Nyman, Law, and Rodriguez. A lot of right-handers in there against the lefty Tudor. For the Red Sox, Remy, Evans, Rice, Yastrzemski, Lansford, Boggs, Stapleton, Gedman, and Miller. I did go ahead and write down the run ratings for each of the players so I don't have to refer to their cards. And it's a good hitting day in Fenway. The singles are 1-19 for both lefties and righties. Home runs, only 1-4 for lefties, but 1-10 for right-handers. So we could see some runs in this one. All right, so John Tudor finishing up the warm-up tosses for the Red Sox. And awaiting his first pitch will be the speedster Ron LaFleur. Again, Ron LaFleur. Now I'm looking through my phone now, and the results on the cards look pretty clear to me from here, so hopefully everybody can see that now. Maybe I had the phone raised up too high, I don't know, but hopefully now everybody can see the results. Okay, so game of the week, August the 7th. Fenway Park, Sox against Sox. It is Ron LaFleur against Jerry Remy. And of course, Ron LaFleur playing center field, that can be dangerous defensively. He's a 4 with an E25 and a +3 arm, about as bad as you're going to get. But he's in there for his offense, not his defense. So Tudor starting us off here against Ron LaFleur. We get a 1-4, and that is a strikeout right off the bat. LaFleur strikes out against the lefty Tudor, and we're underway from Fenway. That'll bring up the switch-hitting Tony Bernazard, second baseman. Get a 4-10 against a right-hander. That's a ground ball third base X. That's Wade Boggs. He's a 4 E21. 4-18. He'll get to that easily. E21 and a 15 might be problematic. It is problematic. It's a two-base error on Wade Boggs. An E21 and a 15 is right here under the two-base error. So Wade Boggs is an E21, just committed a two-base error, and instead of being 2 outs and the base is empty, it is now Bernazard at second base and only 1 out, and Bernazard has good speed. He will have to be held on. And so unfortunately for Tudor, thought he had 2 quick outs, but bad throw there from Boggs, got past the first baseman Yastrzemski, who has limited range over at first, and so runner at second with 1 out. Havoc roll for Tudor. Nothing happening. Here's Harold Baines, right fielder. We get a 2-6, and Baines, 1-11 is a single. 12-20, he lines to second. That's a 10, so it's a single, but it's only 1 star, and that will put runners at the corners with 1 out, and Harold Baines will have to be held. He is a B stealer, can get a jump with a 6, but Tudor is a -4 hold rating. Gavin's a +1, so aggregate -3, being held is a -2, making it a -5. So the best he could do is a 1 to 12. So I think Tudor is going to really control the run game in this situation. So Baines will stay put. We'll roll the havoc, of course. And nothing happening. So here's Luzinski. He is a double play candidate, so the infield is playing back for the double play. 5-6 for Tudor. Struck him out, so we don't need the double play when you get a strikeout like that. Second strikeout for Tudor. Infield can now go back to normal. For Pudge Fisk, coming in as the enemy. Not that long ago, he was with the Red Sox, but in 1981, he signed a big free agent deal with the White Sox, so still getting used to facing his old mates. Tudor, nothing going on in the havoc. 3-6 for Fisk. That's a 1 to 5 for a single. 6 to 20, he will line it to second. That's a 9, so he lines it to second, and that's going to do it as Jerry Remy puts it away. John Tudor pitches around that big error, picks up his teammate Boggs. At the end of a half an inning, it is the White Sox nothing, and the Red Sox coming to bat with Rich 280Z Dotson getting the warm-up tosses, finishing those up. And here is Jerry Remy, who just caught that liner. He will lead things off for the Red Sox, be followed by Evans and Rice. 2-10 is going to foul it out to third. That is hauled in by Aurelio Rodriguez, and there's one away. All right, here is Dewey Evans, right fielder. 2-10, and that's a ballpark home run chance. And for a right-hander, that is 1 to 10. So 1 to 10, and Evans has gone deep over the left field wall, over the green monster. Anything higher than that, he's just going to hit a deep fly to the warning track. 1 to 10, it is gone. It's a 17, so it's caught out there in deep left field by Kemp, right against the green monster. Evans just missed it. 2 down now for Jim Rice. 4-10, struck him out. So Dotson escapes the home run and then gets the strikeout of Rice to end the inning. We go to the second. No score from Fenway. Here on this August the 7th, Saturday afternoon. Steve Kemp had just made that nice catch against the wall. We'll lead things off. I guess I'll go ahead and start rolling the D20 again with the D6s just to save time. 6-9 against a lefty is a ground ball to second. Remy is all over it. 1 away. That'll bring up Chris Nyman at first base. He's in there because of the lefty. Normally you'd have Greg Walker or Mike Squires or somebody like that. I guess it would be Mike Squires, not Greg Walker. It would be Mike Squires would normally be the first baseman. But with the lefty, they're using Chris Nyman. He has a lot of singles in that column 1. But we're under Tudor, 6-8. But against a right-hander, 6-8. Split chance, 1 to 8 is a double, 9 to 20 is a single. That's a 10. So Chris Nyman, a 1-out single. And Nyman, a good runner, but again, that -4 kind of makes you pause for a second to think about trying to steal, particularly in Fenway when you want to get the runs going. You really don't want to run yourself out of an inning. So he will hold fast. They will roll the havoc for Tudor. Nothing happening. Here's Vance Law. 1-7, and that's a ground ball third base B, so it's the fielder's choice. Boggs to Remy, but too slowly hit to turn 2. So Law will beat it out. He'll be at first base. He will be held, but not going to go anywhere, especially with Tudor with that -4 hold rating. Havoc for Tudor. That's a 20, nothing happening. So here is Rodriguez, third baseman. 4-10, and that's a ground ball third base X. That is, again, Boggs. He's already made a 2-base error. He will try again. 4E21. 4 and a 3. This one's going to get by him for a base hit. 4 and a 3 is a single 2 stars. So that will move Law to third base. And now we'll check for an error. E21 and a 15. And we just had that before. A 2-base error. Same exact roll we had before. E21 and a 15 is a 2-base error. That is a 15. So he will make it to third base. It's going to be a single plus. He throws it away. Second error for Boggs. That will send Rodriguez all the way to third on the E5, which will of course score Law, and the White Sox lead at 1-0. So Wade Boggs having a very rough outing. Puts a runner at third with only 1 out. I'm sorry, there are 2 outs. Check that, there are 2 outs. So runner at third with 2 outs. And that'll bring up LaFleur. So Tudor trying to pitch around yet another Boggs error. 5-10 against a right-hander. That's a ballpark single check. 19, that's a 17. That's a base hit. And since Rodriguez was already on third from the 2-base error, that will score yet another run. So the first run is going to be earned. The second run, well, let's see. Would the first run be earned or not? Let's see. No, yeah, it would. It would be earned. So first run's earned. Second run to date is not earned, but it could be later on in the inning. We'll see. Right now, runner at first and 2 down. He will not be going anywhere. He will be held. If Bernazar gets a hit, the next first run or the second run could be earned as well. 6-7 ground ball, second base X, and second baseman Remy is holding the runner, so he will be responsible for if we get one of those pound sign rolls on his range, he could let one get through. 3-E14 to 3-1. You don't have to worry about that. That's going to be a base hit. 3-1 is a single, 2 stars. So now both runs are now going to end up being earned, because the error would not have made any difference. It didn't give them extra outs or anything. It just moved runners up. So runners are at the corners now, and that's a 13. Remy is a 14. There is no 13, so there's no error, but it is a single, 2 stars. And the White Sox now have more things cooking with 2 outs and runners on the corners, 2 already in. Tudor now facing Baines. Nothing going on. 3-7 for Baines. Struck him out, and that's going to finally end the inning. But the White Sox put up 2 runs, much to the joy of their skipper, Tony La Russa. Of course, Red Sox skipper Ralph Houck not happy about it. 2-0. Here is Yaz. Going to see if he can't get something started for the Sox against Dotson. 6-7 against a lefty. Ground ball, second base X. Bernazard is a 2-E14. 2-11. He gets to that. E14 and an 8. There is no 8. It's a good play for Bernazard. So 1 away. And that will send up Carney Lansford. 4-5. Ground ball, shortstop X. This time we are looking at the shortstop Law. He's a 4-E40. 4-1. That's a base hit. Single for Lansford past Law. That's a 9, and he's an E40. E40, there is no 9, but it will be a base hit. So first hit of the game for the Red Sox. It's a 1-out single by Lansford. Now Dotson's a +3 hold. Fisk is a 0. So if he got a jump, -2 for being held, +3 is a +1, makes that a 17. So they're going to see if he can get a jump. 4 or a 5, he can get the jump. He does not. So he's got to hold. And Wade Boggs trying to make up for those 2 errors in the first 2 innings. He is up. See what he can do. 111, and that's a ballpark single check, which again is a 1-19, but that's a 20. That's the kind of luck it's been for Wade Boggs in this game. 1-19 is a hit, but he found a 20. He lines it to second, snagged by Bernazard, and there's 2 down. So Boggs can't catch a break. This is his rookie year. He's not a Hall of Famer yet. Here's Stapleton. Nothing on the Havoc. Dotson to Stapleton. 6-4. Catcher X. Catcher is Fisk. He's a 2-E2. 2 and a 3 For a catcher, a 2 and a 3 is a W/G. And that's a 9. E2, there's no 9 there, but a W/G with runners on, oh, let's see. With runners on base, pitcher and course a wild pitch. So how about that? It is going to be a wild pitch. So Lansford will mosey on to second base. Stapleton still at the plate. But he's in scoring position now is Mr. Lansford. Nothing on the Havoc. Stapleton will give it another shot against Dotson. 4-8, ground ball to short. There's a dot there, but of course he's not tired this early, so inning's over. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 left. At the end of 2, it's Chicago 2 and Boston nothing. Here on the NBC Saturday afternoon game of the week, 1982 Strat-O-Matic style from Fenway. Greg Luzinski, the designated hitter, will lead off. He struck out his first chance. 1-7, and that's a ground ball to second. 1 away. Remy is there. And somewhere in the back of his mind, Tudor is crossing his fingers that the ball does not get hit to Wade Boggs. Here's Fisk. 2-5 against the lefty. That is a single to center field. So Boggs not involved there. That's just a straight out single for Fisk. Interestingly, Fisk is a steal A and advanced. What did he do for steals? He stole 17 bases, only caught twice. So he was a very good base runner back in the day there, but again, against Tudor, you're not going to try it. He will be held on, though, obviously, with that kind of a pedigree, so he will be held on. Tudor to Kemp. 6-3. Fly ball left field X. We're looking at Rice. He's a 3 E10. 3 and a 7 should be okay. 3 and a 7, let me get the right chart. 3 and a 7 is barely okay. 3 and a 6 would have been a hit. 3 and a 7 is an F1. All runners on the F1, all runners will tag and move up. So Fisk will move up and go to second base, assuming there's no error. That's an 8, and he's an E10. Nope, there's no 8, but an F1 says that fly out, all runners tag and advance a base. So it was so deep and in the corner that Fisk was able to tag and take second base. So he will get there on the fly out by Kemp. So out number 2. But Fisk is now in scoring position for Chris Nyman, who did single his first chance. 1-8, and a 1 is a single, but that's a 13. Boy, anything here except for the clutches he'd have been out, but a couple of these he would have gotten a hit. But in this one, he's going to line it to second, and that's going to end the inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and a man left. Tudor pitches out of that one, and Boggs doesn't make an error. We go to the bottom of the third, still 2-0. Can't say 2-0 Sox because they're both Sox. So 2-0 white over red. Here is Rich Gedman. Dotson to Gedman, 2-11. He is hit by pitch plus injury. Well, you know, I have been doing injuries in this thing, so we're going to check Gedman for an injury. They may have to go to their backup catcher, Gary Allenson. They're checking on Gedman at the moment. He is hit by the pitch, so will be a runner on first base on that plunk job. And now we're looking at the injury check. So let's look at the injuries and see what happens with that. And we're going to the injury chart that's in the rule book. And we're going to roll a D20. And if we get a 6 or less on the D20, then he can remain in the game. Anything other than 7 through 20, he has to come out. That's a 10, he's got to come out. So Gedman is going to have to leave. He's unable to continue. And Gary Allenson will take over behind the plate and also is the runner on first base. So Allenson is a better at defensive catcher. He's a 2, -2, E2, T5, P3. So with his -2 arm and the -4 hold from Tudor, there's no way the White Sox are going to try any kind of steals whatsoever. So unfortunately, Gedman is dinged up, cannot continue. So Allenson takes over at first base with nobody out. And here's Rick Miller. Dotson, and Allenson is not being held. Dotson to Miller, 5-5 against the lefty. Fly ball to right field. Hauled in out there by the right fielder, Hall of Famer Harold Baines. So there's one out. Here's Jerry Remy. Nothing on the Havoc. 2-3 for Remy, and that's a ground ball to third, fielder's choice, so they go the short way with it. Rodriguez to Bernazard for the force. So Remy is the new runner at first. Now he could try to get a jump here. 2 through 6, see if he can get the jump. He can, 6 he can get the jump. So he starts at the 15, -2 for being held makes him a 13, but then you add 3 here, makes him a 16, and the catcher Fisk is a 0. So 1 to 16, and he steals it. And he does. Stolen base for Remy. You say, why steal when you're down 2-0? But you're trying to get in a scoring position with 2 outs where a base hit can tie the game or put a run across instead of forcing Evans to get an extra base hit. Dotson on the Havoc. There's a 1 possible wild pitch, but we don't roll a 1 the second time, so no wild pitch. So Dotson to Evans, 2 outs of Remy at second. 1-8, and that's a walk. So I guess in hindsight he would have gotten second base anyway, would Remy, based on that walk, but you didn't know that. So now here's Jim Rice. Jim Rice can give the Sox the lead with 1 swing of the bat. 3-9, and he grounds it to first. 3 unassisted as Nyman just steps on the bag, and the Sox will leave 2 on base, come up empty. We go to the 4th. Still 2-0 White Sox. And Boston not putting up the runs I thought they would in this game. Vance Law now facing Tudor. Start the 4th. 6-9, and that's a ground ball to third. Boggs this time makes a successful throw, and there's 1 away. Here's Rodriguez. Veteran Aurelio Rodriguez, 4-6. Struck him out. So Tudor starting to get into a groove, but is it too little too late? Here's LaFleur. 2-10. Ground ball to second. Remy is there. It's the easy 1-2-3 inning for Tudor. And the Sox are gone. The White Sox, that is, are gone in order. Go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 2-0. And Rich 280Z Dotson, who has a fatigue of 6, is rolling along. Tudor also has a fatigue of 6. So it'll be Yaz, the aged one. 1-4, and he fouls out to Fisk. 1 away. He had a lot of hits in column 1, but couldn't find the right one. Here's Lansford. That's the only Red Sox hit of the game. 6-9, he's going to get another one. 1-9's a home run. 10-20 is a double. That's a 10. So Lansford with a double. He's singled, and now he's doubled. And he's in scoring position with 1 out. For Wade Boggs, he will be held, but he obviously won't go anywhere. 1, another chance for a wild pitch. Not going to happen. Here is Boggs. 6-9 for Dotson against a lefty. That's an in-home run chance. He does have normal power. 1-7 is a homer, but that's a 20. But it will be another double. So back-to-back doubles. Boggs trying to make up for those 2 errors. Plates Lansford from second. Cuts the lead to 2-1. Back-to-back doubles. Make it a 2-1 game. Boggs will not be held at second. He does not run well at all. And here's Stapleton. Nothing going on. 5-6 for Dotson. That's a ground ball to third. And Boggs will have to hold. So 2 down, and that's going to bring up Gary Allenson, the new catcher, came in for the injured Gedman. See what he can do against Dotson. 2-8, and he walks. So that keeps the inning going for Rick Miller. Runners at first and second, 2 outs, 1 in, 2 on, 1 in. Nothing happening. Here's Rick Miller. Miller flew to right his last time up. 3-11. He's going to foul out to Fisk again. Second time in the inning that they fouled out to Fisk. So Boston does get on the board thanks to back-to-back doubles from Lansford and Boggs. We go to the 5th. It's 2-1 in favor of Chicago. And Tudor back out now. Has gotten some run support and he's settled in. So we'll see if he can't continue and keep the White Sox at bay. Bernazard. 6-7, switch hitter batting right-handed. Ground ball second base X, that is Remy. Remy is a 3, E14. 3 and a 7 is good. Now we'll check the error. 3 and a 7 is a G3. That is a 14. He is an E14. So a 14 and a 14. There is a 15 and a 16, but no 14. So Remy, tough hop, but makes the play. Throws out his counterpart for 1 away. And here's Harold Baines. 5-5 against the lefty. Struck him out. Hall of Famer. 2 down. Here is Luzinski. 3-8. And that's a walk. So Luzinski draws the 2-out walk. He obviously will not be held at first. He doesn't run well at all. Although he did steal 1 base. Probably was back end of a double steal, most likely. Got caught once as well. So here's Fisk. Tutor to Fisk, 5-8. Tutor against the right-hander, 5-8. Oh, that's trouble. Fisk is going to get him. 1 for a triple. Anything else is a single. That is a single, 2 stars. So even Luzinski can take third base on that. Puts runners at the corners. And Fisk will have to be held. Runners are at the corners with 2 down for Steve Kemp, lefty on lefty. That's a 1, so no wild pitch for Tudor, though, to worry about. Tudor to Kemp, 2-11. Ballpark single check. And that's a 1-19. That is a 19, and that will score the run. Luzinski, how about that? A 2-out rally by the White Sox. A walk and 2 singles. Puts the White Sox on the board again, making it now 3-1. As Fenway Park has delivered a base hit for him. Here's Chris Nyman. Nothing on the Havoc. Tudor to Nyman, 4-9. And that's a single to center field. Fisk was being held because he runs well. He runs at a 14, being held makes him a 13. There were 2 outs, makes him a 15. Center fielder arm, Miller is a 0. 1-15, he's going to score. And they threw him out. Rick Miller with a gun threw him out. So he's out at the plate, 8-2. Tried to score, and I guess you don't run on Rick Miller. So Rick Miller fired one in there, and the new catcher Allenson applied the tag, blocked the plate to end the inning and thwart the White Sox from a second run. They do get 1 on 3 base hits, and they leave 2 on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 3-1 Chicago. And Rich Dotson join a 3-1 lead. Will now face Jerry Remy. 3-9 for Remy, and that's a big base hit. 16 is going to be a split chance, but 13-20 is a single. That's a 16. So Remy, leadoff single. Now, he stole base once. I think we're going to hold him here and let them try to do something with the offense. He, of course, will be held at first base. Here's Dewey Evans. 4-4. That's a ground ball shortstop X. And the shortstop is Vance Law. He's a 4 E40. 4 and a 14. 4 and a 14 is a G2. So they're going to get a fielder's choice. That's a 13 on an E40. E40, there is no 13, but it is a fielder's choice. A better shortstop would have been a double play, but they're going to get a 6-4 fielder's choice. Had he been, instead of a 4 range, if he would have been a 1 or 2 range, that would have been a double play. But they get the force. Dwight Evans is on. He will be held, but he won't go anywhere. Jim Rice, the batter. Against Dotson, 6-11. That's a ballpark home run chance for a right-hander. 1-10. That's a 9. It is gone. Jim Rice cranks one over the monster, and we are all tied at 3. Jim Rice got into one, taking Dotson deep, and the Fenway faithful are loving it. We are tied at 3 apiece here in the 5th. With 1 out and the base is clear. That will now send up Yaz. 2-11 for Yaz. It's a ground ball to second, and that's 1 away, or 2 away rather, as Bernazard puts it away. Here's Carney Lansford. 6-5, and that's a strikeout for Dotson to end the inning. But the Red Sox put up 2 on the home run from Jim Rice. We played 5 innings and nothing's been decided. We are tied at 3. And this is the fatigue inning for both starting pitchers. Both Tudor and Dotson have that 6 as their fatigue. So both bullpens may be starting to stir around a bit. For the Red Sox, they do have right-hander Louis Aponte loosening down in the pen. Here's Vance Law. 3-3 against the lefty Tudor. That's a ballpark single. 18 though, barely fits, but it does fit. That's all that's needed. Base hit for Vance Law. Fenway's going to give up those singles for sure. Now Rodriguez is an A bunter, so obviously we're looking to drop down the sacrifice bunt. So we'll go over to our super advanced sacrifice bunt chart. He's an A bunter. The corners are in, so he's actually going to be a B bunter. And we get an 8. B and an 8 is a good sacrifice. The 5 being the white 5 means it went to first base. So Yaz, all he could do with it is field that bunt and tag Rodriguez coming in or coming up the line, and it's a good sacrifice, 3 unassisted. Rodriguez does his job. Runner in scoring position with 1 out for Ron LaFleur. Nothing on the havoc. Tudor to LaFleur, 4-8. That's a single chance, 1-15. That is a 1. It's only 1 star though, so it's going to put runners on the corners with 1 out, and Tudor very close to his fatigue. 1 more base runner, 1 more walker hit, and he will reach his fatigue level. See how they want to play this. They're going to hold LaFleur, but LaFleur is not going anywhere. They are playing the infield at a double play depth because there's a lot of pluses on Bernazard's card, and the infield end would tear that up. So Bernazard against Tudor. 6-9, ground ball, third base A, and they got the double play they wanted. 5-4-3 around the horn. This time Boggs did not have any hesitation or bobble, and the White Sox are turned away by some Red Sox defense. So we go to the bottom of the 6th, tied at 3 still. Tudor may come back out for the 7th. We shall see, because lefty Baines will lead off, but I think right after that we might see Bob Stanley or Mark Clear. So here's Wade Boggs. He's going to lead off the bottom of the 6th. It's also Dotson's fatigue inning, so keep an eye on that. 4-10, and that's a strikeout. So he strikes out Boggs, 1 away for Mr. Dave Stapleton. 3-6, that's a 1-19 single, so base hit for Stapleton. He's aboard. He will not be held, but he is there. And that brings up Allenson. This is where they really miss Gedman right here. Dotson 1-4, struck him out. 2 down. Gedman on a 1-4 would have had a ballpark single, but you know, what are you going to do? All right, here is Rick Miller. Dotson to Miller, 111. That's a ballpark single right there. Base hit. It's only 1 star though, so Stapleton will stop at second. But runners at first and second with 2 outs and 1 more hit, and Dotson will be fatigued. He's going to hang in there against Remy. 3-10, and that's a triangle, which in Super Advance, in Advance it'd be a single. Super Advance, we drop down here. 1's a single, 2-20 is a line out. That's a line out, and that's going to end the inning. So if we're playing Advanced, that would have been a hit, but all these other ballpark hits would not have been hits. So depending on which way you play is the way it turns out. So gain some and lose some, I guess. At the end of 6, it's 3-3. We're going to the 7th, top of the 7th. And Bob Stanley is already ready in the bullpen for the Red Sox. I think Tudor's going to pitch to Baines, and then that's going to be it, because you got the big righties coming up behind him. So they're going to let him pitch to Baines, but they're not going to let him mess with Luzinski or Fisk. 1-3 to Baines, and he got him to ground to second for out number 1, and that's going to be it for Mr. Tudor. Tudor will leave. He goes 6 1/3 innings, giving up the 3 runs, and he will be replaced by Mr. Bob Stanley. Stanley on the 82 season, 12-7, 3.10 ERA and 14 saves. He was the part-time closer along with Mark Clear. They kind of split the difference. So in this one, they want Bob Stanley to maybe pitch the rest of this inning and possibly the 8th. See if he can get through it. He does have a fatigue of 4 on here, so pretty good for fatigue. Luzinski, 4-9 against, and that's a base hit right away off of Stanley. So comes in right away and gets up a hit to Luzinski. Of course, Luzinski will not go anywhere. He will not be held. Here's Fisk, and Fisk has caught Stanley many times. See if he learned anything. 3-5. He did not. He fouls out to Yastrzemski. So 2 down there. And that brings up Mr. Kemp. Nothing on the Havoc, because that is a 6. It almost flipped to 1, but it is a 6. So nothing on the Havoc. Here's Kemp. 6-9 against the lefty. Ground ball to second. Remy will field it. Flip the short way to Stapleton to end the inning on the fielder's choice, 4-6. So we're going to the 7th inning stretch, tied at 3. And fortunately, the game of the week has produced another close game, which I like. I hate doing blowouts in these games. So I like the closeness of these games. Now Dotson gave up 2 hits, so he can give up, now that we're into the next inning, he can give up 2 more before he gets tired. Or walks, or combination thereof. Let's see, we got a couple lefties coming up. They got Kevin Hickey loosening in the bullpen because the Red Sox do have Yastrzemski and Boggs down the road there. So Kevin Hickey is loosening in the bullpen for Tony La Russa here in the bottom of the 7th. 7th inning stretch. I just stood up and stretched for about 2 seconds, so that's going to constitute that stretch. All right, now Dotson to Evans, 3-3, bottom of the 7th. 5-4 for Dotson. Ground ball third base X. That's Rodriguez. He is a 2E17. 2-1 though. That's going to be a base hit. That's the one result that he couldn't stop. Actually, if you rolled a 1 or a 2 on the D20, it'd be a base hit. And there's your base hit. 10, no error on the 10, I don't believe. I'll double check it, but I don't think there is. Nope. But it is going to be a leadoff single for Dewey Evans as he snuck it past Rodriguez. And now here's Rice. Had that big 2-run homer last time. One more walker hit and Dotson will be fatigued. Evans is not going to go anywhere. Won't even be held. Havoc, nothing happening. Dotson to Rice. 3-3, and that's a ballpark single. So base hit there, and now fatigue is set in, and that's going to be it for Dotson. He's going to go 6+, but then Kevin Hickey is going to come on and face the lefty Yastrzemski. So Tony La Russa was planning for that to happen. That's why they had the lefty Hickey ready to go. They also have right-hander Chico Escarraga loosening in the bullpen as well behind Hickey in case Hickey struggles. The 2 are on, not the swift to bases runners, so nobody's being held. Yastrzemski obviously not a good bunter, so no bunt to worry about. But Yastrzemski does have a chance to get something done. He is 0 for 3, however. And do you pinch hit? Do you pinch hit for a legend like Yastrzemski? I don't know. I guess you could bring in Tony Perez. One legend for another. Wow. Yastrzemski got a pretty good column 1 though, so I'm going to let Yastrzemski swing away. 110, and there we go. We found it right there. A 10 is a double, 2 stars. So Yastrzemski, good thing we didn't pinch hit for him. He hits an RBI double. Rice will go to third on that. RBI for Yastrzemski, and the Red Sox lead it 4-3, and Hickey was unable to get the job done. Runners at second and third, nobody out. Carney Lansford, the batter, and he's hurt them quite a bit, so they're going to intentionally walk Carney Lansford to load the bases. That sets up a force play at any base, and they're going to pitch to Wade Boggs, and they're looking for the double play. They're going to play the infield in. They're looking for a double play with the infield in. Hickey to Boggs. 2-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop A with a plus sign, so by playing the infield in, it's going to scoot through for a base hit, 2 stars. So that backfired. Had they been playing normal depth, it would have been a double play. The run would have scored, but they were trying to prevent that, and that's just the way it is. When LaRussa got outfoxed on that one, it just snuck past for a 2-run single. 3 runs in the inning for the Red Sox. They now lead it 6-3, and Stapleton's now the batter. And Hickey hasn't gotten anybody out, so Hickey will be leaving as well. So Hickey could not get it done. And Chico Escarraga, 1-3 with a 3.67 ERA, 2 starts and 1 save. He will be on to try to get out of the mess. Runners are at the corners with nobody out. Again, the infield will play in. They have to cut the run off. 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. Pass ball rating of Fisk is a 4. Nope, no pass ball. He blocked it. So here is Escarraga to Stapleton. 1-9. Ground ball, second base C. Now let's check with the infield in how that plays out, because we've got the super advanced chart. Runners are at the corners, first and third. Ground ball C is a number 8. It says batter out, runner on third holds, runner on first advances to second. So normally a C means everybody advances, but with the infield in, Lansford had to hold. Now Boggs will advance to second base. And let's see, 1-7 was a ground ball to, or 1-9 rather, was a ground ball to second. So it's a 4-3 ground out. So Bernazar was able to throw to second. Boggs did take, throw to first rather for the out. Boggs did take second. So runners at second and third with 1 out. And Gary Allenson the batter. So they're going to keep the infield in against Allenson. 1 chance for it, but there's no wild pitch rating, so we drive on. Escarraga, 3-5, struck him out. Big strikeout there for out number 2. And that'll bring up Rick Miller. Infield back to normal. 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. Another chance for a pass ball, 1-4. Nope, again Fisk blocks it. So Miller facing Escarraga, 4-11. That's a ballpark single for a lefty. Well, it doesn't matter, they're all 19s, but that's a 20. So it's the second time that's happened. Ballpark has been a 19, but that's a 20. So Miller lines it to second and keeps the White Sox in the game. 3 for the Red Sox. They take a 6-3 lead as we go to the 8th. But if that had gotten through, that would have been 2 more runs. Actually, 1 more run. It would have been another run. Would have been 7-3 and would have gotten even worse. But it's 6-3, and with the Red Sox bullpen of Stanley and Clear, might be hard to get those 3 runs. We shall see. Now Nyman is up, but with the right-handers up there now in the Red Sox bullpen, Nyman will be called back, and Mike Squires will pinch hit. He was a .267 hitter as a left-handed hitting first baseman. He will take over at first base as well. He's got a loaded column 3. So Nyman is gone, and you get a much better defensive player as well. So Mike Squires will pinch hit to start the 8th. Boston does have 1 lefty in the bullpen, Tom Bergmeyer, just in case they need a lefty. They will have him. Right now it's Bob Stanley facing the pinch hitter Mike Squires, top of the 8th, 6-3 Red Sox. 4-11 against a lefty. Fly ball left field X. That is Jim Rice. He's a 3-E10. 3-19 is good. E10 and a 10 probably is good. I'll check it out. For an outfielder, E10 and a 10, there's no problem there. And a 3 and a 19 is an F3, which is all they need. So Rice makes the tough catch in the corner as Squires try to go opposite field. 1 away, and here's Vance Law, the shortstop. Do they pinch hit for Vance Law? Who else do they have on the bench? They do have Rudy Law on the bench. He's a good hitter. And they could bring Almond in to play short. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to pinch hit for Vance Law with Rudy Law. No relation. Or as Forrest Gump would say, we are not relations, sir. So Rudy Law coming in to pinch hit. And then the shortstop, new shortstop, will be Billy Allman, who's not very good. He's a 4E48, but Law was 4E40, so you're not getting too much out of that. But they need offense. They need offense big time. So Rudy Law coming in offensively, he hit 318 on the season, so they need to get something started. 111, and that's a ballpark base hit, so it's base hit for Rudy Law. That got him going. He's a double-A stealer. Very good. That tells you he's a very good base stealer, but you're down by 3, so they're going to hold him, but he's not going anywhere. He is not going anywhere. But he will be held, obviously. Stanley to Rodriguez. 1-2, and that's a ground ball third base A. That's going to end the inning on a 5-4-3 double play. Wow. Just when you think, oh, you know what? That was not a double play. That's a 1 there. That's a 1. Or did I? No, I already rolled this. I think I already rolled the strategy roll for checking for pickoffs. So never mind. I already rolled that. So the double play stands. Inning's over. We go to the bottom of the 8th. So having Rudy Law pinch hit didn't really help, as it turns out. So now Escariga back out. We'll be facing Remy, Evans, and Rice, top of the order for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the 8th. 6-3 Beantowners. 1-8, and that's a solid single for Jerry Remy. He gets the 8th started with a base hit. He will be held but won't go anywhere. Dewey Evans, the batter. 1, but there's no wild pitch rating. So here's Evans. 4-4. Fly ball center field X, and that's trouble because LaFleur is a 4E25. 4 and a 1, that's horrible. 4 and a 1 is a triple. That's an 8. If he makes an error, that's going to be an inside the park home. Well, a triple plus an error to score the run. E25 and an 8. There is no 8 miraculously, but it is a triple. So an RBI triple for Dewey Evans. That will score Remy. Gives the Red Sox a 7-3 lead. I shouldn't have said anything about a close game because I've just jinxed it. Back in the 6th inning, I was glad it was a close game, and now Boston's starting to pull away. So infield is in for Jim Rice. At this point, it probably doesn't matter, but they got to play in anyway. Escariga 4-4. Fly ball center field X again. We're right back in the same spot with LaFleur. A 6 probably drops as well. 4 and a 6 is a single, 2 stars. That is a 4 on an E25. It's also an error. 4 is a 1 base error. So it's single, 2 stars. The single will score Evans. Rice singles and then takes second on the E8. So the error there by LaFleur causing them more issues. Another run is in. It's now 8-3. And here's Yastrzemski. Still nobody out. 6-7 for Escariga. He is a strikeout. He's not tired yet. So he's still good. Struck him out. 1 away. That'll bring up Carney Lansford. 4-8. And that's a double to left field. That's going to probably be all for Escariga right there. That will score another run. 3 runs are in. That's it for Escariga. He is history, as Carney Lansford just doubled home Rice. Escariga will leave, and they'll go to the bullpen again for Salome Barojas. He's a closer, but doesn't really matter. It's 21 saves, but at this point, they just want to get out of the inning. All right, so here's Boggs. Nothing happening. Barojas to Boggs, 1-5, and Boggs is going to do damage. 20 is a single, 2 stars. That will score Lansford. That run is charged to Escariga. He gives up 4 runs in the inning. Here in the 8th, 4 runs are in. It is now 10-3. Favor of Boston. And I shouldn't have spoke when it was 3-3 in the 6th. I should not have spoke about being a close game. I knew I was going to jinx it. Obviously I did. So what are you going to do? So Rojas to Stapleton, 1-3. Ground ball third base A. Mercifully a 5-4-3 double play ends the inning. 4 runs are in. It is 10-3. I feel very confident putting the X here in the bottom of the ninth for not needing that, as we know Boston's going to score 10 runs. And Boston lost this game in real life 7-3 to the Red Sox, to the White Sox rather, but they have turned history for sure. And now let's see how they want to play this. There is no save situation to worry about. They will bring in little Louis Aponte to finish the ball game off in a blowout. 2-2 with a 3.18 ERA and 3 saves, but of course 10-3 is not a save situation. He's just in there to finish the game out. Top of the order, LaFleur, Bernazard, and Baines. And there's nobody left on the White Sox bench that's worth pinch hitting with, so everybody that's in the game now is better than what's on the bench. So let's stick with what you got. Aponte to LaFleur. 2-7, and that is a strikeout. So LaFleur with the whiff, 1 away. Bernazard. 1-4, that's a 1-out walk. Not what they wanted. They want to get the game over with, not walking guys. And Bernazard will not be held. So 1-10, he's going to take second on second base indifference or defensive indifference. 11-20, he's not even going to think about it. So he's going to take second base on defensive indifference. Not that it matters. Here's Harold Baines. Nothing happening. 6-7 for Aponte. 1-11 is a single 1-star. That is a single 1-star. He will put runners at the corners. And that brings up the bull, Greg Luzinski. Baines not being held on first. 4-12, and that's a walk. That's going to load the bases. So now Aponte all of a sudden crap in the bed. And I don't think... I got a funny feeling Ralph Houck's not going to tolerate this much longer. And they do have lefty Tom Bergmeyer loosening the bullpen. And with Kemp and Squires coming up, lefties, this is going to be Aponte's last batter most likely. Bases loaded. That's a 1. Chance for a wild pitch on a 1-2, but that's not happening. So Fisk against Aponte. 6-3, ground ball pitcher X. He's a 2-0, so we know he doesn't make an error. He could possibly turn double play to end the game. He's a 2, so we're just looking at the number here. That's an 11. A 2 and an 11 on a pitcher chart is a G2, so it's not going to be an inning in or game-ending double play. It is a G2, and with the bases loaded, the infield normal, it's a force play. So force says run on first, out at second. So the run will score as Aponte threw to second base to start the double play, but it just couldn't get it done. It's a 1-4 fielder's choice. The run will score to cut the lead to 10-4. Good buddy. Harold Baines will go to third. And now here's Kemp, but I think you're going to go ahead and leave Aponte in there. Since we're down to 2 outs now, there's no sense wasting Bergmeyer. Unless Aponte starts giving up more things. Aponte to Kemp, 6-5. Ground ball to second. Ball game is over as Remy throws to Yaz. And the Red Sox waylay the White Sox 10-4. 10-4 good buddy game from Fenway. Red Sox do it. And I can tell you that they are fighting the Yankees, Orioles, and the Brewers for the division lead, the NL East, while the White Sox are battling out with Kansas City and California. I will show the standings next week. I don't know what the game of the week is going to be next week. Probably something out of the American League, because honestly the National League West is over. The Dodgers are blowing everybody away. The NL East is pretty tight, so if I can find a decent NL East game, I'll play that. If not, then we'll go back to something from the American League. But game of the week, August the 7th, 1982. Of course, showing on August the 7th, 2021. 10-4, messy scoreboard with all these runs. 10-4, the final. Boston beats Chicago. Winning pitcher was Bob Stanley. And the losing pitcher was Rich Dotson. Again, the White Sox won the real game 7-3, but the Red Sox turned the table on them here in this particular replay. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of the NBC Strat-O-Matic 1982 Game of the Week. Sometime later in the week, or not later, we're already late in the week, it's Saturday. So probably on Monday or Tuesday, or maybe even Sunday, I'm not sure which day. Probably Monday, I'm thinking that. Will be the next game in the Washington Nationals replay, the video for that. But aside from that, we'll be back on August the 14th for the next game of the week. Not, like I said, it's to be determined. TBD are the teams involved. Got to look at the standings and look at the schedule and see what we've got and try to present what I think is the best matchup. So that's going to do it here from Fenway. Final score, Boston 10, Chicago 4, good buddy. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.